Peace, peace, family. I apologize for the interruption. I'm gonna give it a moment and give you guys an opportunity to hopefully catch this and come back in, and so we can get restarted here in a moment. We were in our bag too. But it's okay. Uh, Learning lesson. Charge your laptop or get more outputs for your devices so you can do multiple things at once. Waiting for the crew to pull up. Waiting for the crew to pull up. Waiting for the crew to pull up. Peace, peace. We got one person back. Hey, hey. Sheila. Hey, you first back in the chat. Big up to you. I apologize, man. Oh, I should have just charged my laptop. But it's cool. We got power now. And you can see me, so it's all good. Shamika, you're back. Hey. All right, we're gonna wait for the rest of the squad to pull up. Man, listen, I feel so good. That part one, it's okay. We had to do a part two. It's cool. Part one, so many gems in that. We talk about this being spiritual gems, a place where we can receive information and gems and process and just receive. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. You were giving too many gems for the tech, yeah. Thanks, Britt. Lighting this joint on fire, huh? Yo, oh my goodness. Nutrients for the soul. You heard me? Ooh. Sheila, can I borrow that? Can I steal that as my new intro? Gems and nutrients for the soul. Like I'll put that in there. Big up. Yes, Mal, you're back. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming back. I appreciate you, Sheila. Appreciate you, yo. We'll give it another second or two. Let's see if T and let's see. Here's what we can also do. If y'all know any of those people that were in here earlier, we'll put that link. This is the new link here. I'm gonna send this to Tiara because I don't see her yet. And man, I wish Holise was back in because she was just the inspiration of this thing. Oh, Barb, you're here. Yay. All right, Barb's back. All right, cool. Give it another couple minutes. Oh, we have so much for you. We still got some more left. So happy that y'all were able to catch it again. All right, let me get us on to the next message in this one. And listen, y'all, this is a 2-hour interview. So I really encourage you guys to when you're kind of hanging out, doing your thing, spend some time, washing dishes, just have it playing in the background. Just again, very, very motivating, very eye-opening interview. Very, very powerful, man. Like for real. Just oh my goodness. Just so many bars, so many gems in this thing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, T's back. All right, cool. Jay, you made it. What's up, Jay? We just had some technical difficulties, cuz, so you're right on time for part 2 of the video. Yes, we're talking about abundance, the Lionsgate portal. We got some visual things to reinforce the message. So thank you for joining in. Please rewatch the part 1 if you can't do it. So yeah, let's go. So you can catch up, excuse me. Don't forget to like both lives. Yes, Mal, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate you, Jay. All right, cool. So let me share my screen. Garain is going in. Garain Jones. All right, Let's see what he has to say. So this part that we're about to watch, why I thought it was significant. He speaks a little bit about rejection and how it kind of comes in and is involved in your inner child, which I think is a very, very powerful thing. Oh, and Jay, just so we're writing notes too. So if you got something to write with, Jay, yeah, you definitely want to take some notes here. All right.
Not an adult doing this. You're coming from the little, but it used to bring you so much joy. Take 5 minutes. I'm not even gonna tell you an hour. Like I do an hour. Tell us. I mean, the energy goes where energy flows.
All right, let's go. Uh-oh.
Dance, singing, swimming, doing visual arts, whatever, the telescope at night, whatever, playing with Barbie dolls. But it used to bring you so much joy. Take 5 minutes. I'm not even tell you an hour. Like I do an hour. Take 5 minutes once a week and make it intentional. You're not an adult doing this. You're coming from the little kid inside of the adult and say, you know what? I'm taking my little kid and we're about to go skateboarding, or we're about to go roller skating, or we're about to do this. Give yourself 5 minutes once a week for 90 days. And I want you to pull out a journal and I want you to document and timestamp every synchronicity that doesn't typically happen during those 90 days. And I want you to have a written record of all of the documentation and the timestamp, and then connect the dots looking backwards. That is your little kid, that magical world of the inner you coming online. Now I want you to look at all those synchronicities together. And since you measure data and all this other stuff, you cannot grow what you don't measure. Measure what has happened and occurred in 90 days that doesn't typically happen, simply because you took 5 minutes of present time to spend with your inner child.
Just to clarify this as well, what you're not saying is if you used to dance as a child, we're not talking about you pursuing that to be a professional career.
No, I'm not telling you scaling it and getting ClickFunnels. No. This is specific time to give to your heart. The EKGs of the heart is like the most powerful frequency in the world. But we spend more time in our head. Out of the head into the heart. Can you have at least 5 minutes? I'm talking to a couple the other day. She was like, and I don't know. She's like, my husband, and I just feel like he doesn't see me and he doesn't hear me. And I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. I was like, if he goes a whole day without saying, I love you, what are you going to be thinking? Oh, I'm going to think there's something wrong. What if he goes 2 days? Well, I'm going to really question. If he goes an entire week after saying I love you every single day. She was like, well, then we're going to have to question the relationship. I said, so this makes sense to you, right? She said, yeah. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, I love you to yourself? And she goes, maybe like 6 years ago. I said, there's your answer right there. You're blaming somebody for something you haven't given to yourself. You can't hold somebody to a standard they don't even know exists because you don't even have standards for your own self. So what I'm saying is create a standard of intentional time where your heart, at least in all of the doing outside of your heart, can have 5 minutes. Some people right now, they're like, I don't know, man, because I got this. Would you ever look at your child and say, hey, you're not worth 5 minutes? Well, that's what you're doing to your own self. So now the spiritual aspect of yourself is rejecting, and that's the feeling that you're feeling because it's the little kid inside that feels rejected. And so you're perpetuating, manifesting the same thing through other people, what you're not giving to yourself, and blaming it on other people.
I'm enjoying this episode so far.
Woo! I mean, wow. More gems, right? I know that we're trying to get back up from where we left off at, but listen, the message, the focus is our inner self right now, right? We, as he's saying, we project so much on other people, right? It's like we're so dependent on other people for love, for validation, And we haven't validated ourselves. We haven't spent the time validating yourselves. And so what he's saying is by challenge yourself by 90 days, taking 5 minutes of doing something like your inner child would love. Coloring book, writing poems, whatever that looks like for you as a person, singing your favorite songs, dancing, doing cartwheels outside, running, frolicking. This was so funny. Shout out to Rashana. I wish she was here. But she had sent me a video of like just this new trend, this little thing that was going on social media with Black men just frolicking in the field, right? And they're like recording themselves. And they're like, honestly, like key laughing, right? And it was just a beautiful thing because the image that we typically have of Black men is we're always hard, right? We're always serious. We're always hyper masculine. We're always tough. We're always on the defense. And these dudes are literally frolicking in the fields and they're just like having the time of their life. Some of the hardest looking dudes, some of them, tattoos, all that, was doing it. And it was bizarre to see. But like, imagine if you did that, your heart wouldn't be hard. You wouldn't take somebody not showing up in the way that you want them to show up as personal, because you're not dependent on someone else to fulfill you, to validate you. How can someone reject you? How is that even possible? Unless you have an expectation that like, if they do this thing or they say this to me, then I am worthy and I'm accepted. What? Don't that sound crazy to y'all? No one can reject you, but wow. The feelings of rejection that you feel typically are a deeper sign of the fact that you aren't fulfilled and that you truly aren't fully in love with yourself. Because if you're in love with yourself, if you were to put yourself out there and say, I don't know, as a guy, a beautiful woman comes through, I see her, I go talk to her, she says no to me, then I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna be like, oh. I'm like, okay, cool. I wish you the best. Take care. Right? Because I know that I love myself and I know I have something to offer, and you may not receive that, and that's okay, but that's not a reflection that I'm not worthy. But if I already feel like I'm unworthy, that's going to sting. That's going to hurt. If you try to go for a job and you're like, oh, I want this job so bad, and they don't select you, what does the ego do? It feels bad. It feels like rejection. Well, why am I not good enough? Then you want to go home and be depressed and being like, oh. That's a waste of your energy. That was a blessing. That's not where you're supposed to be. At least you know that. God bless the person who's supposed to, that's their role. Good for them. That spot is being held for them. It's not for you because there's something better for you. But if you truly were in love with yourself, you wouldn't feel bad. You would look at it as, oh shit, okay, cool. This is not where I'm supposed to be. This is great. Okay, where am I supposed to be, Spirit? Angel team will point me in the right direction. God, where I'm supposed to go? What's for me? Melissa said, yes, I saw that. Depending on others to fill a void. Facts. You're feeding yourself and you can't go hungry. Bar. Heart, fourth chakra, foundation, work, connection points. Heart equals 7, spiritual path, understanding your life path from your point of view. Come on, talk that talk, Sheila. Nothing can be against me, 100%. So listen, family, beautiful, beautiful messages in these, man. All right, cool. I'm going to leave this up because we're going to share some more. But here's something that I also want you guys to do either probably before you start your process of writing your manifestations for the 8/8 portal tomorrow. Okay. Again, Jay, and for the new watchers who are missing part 1, Lionsgate, great energy, 8 days about abundance. Tomorrow, 8/8/2024, which also adds up to 8, is a great manifestation day. spend time in journaling and writing what you want your life to look like from a higher perspective outside of these hurts, traumas, and the old self. 8/17, August 17th is another 888 day, as well as 8/26, which is another 888 day, which I don't know when the last time this has happened. I'm sure this is sort of like unprecedented in our lifetime, maybe, or for some time. So let's tap into that energy, okay, and use that for our advantage. All right. Melissa says, we chose ourselves ancients of days ago. So as spiritual beings who decided we come to this 3D realm to do a particular work, we just have to remember who we are and add step into it. Come on, talk that talk. Yes, thank you for sharing. And I didn't know that. Wow. Yes, it's a great time to manifest, Jay. Oh my goodness. You got to watch part 1, maybe tomorrow or later. Crazy. All right. Wow. So here's what I want you guys to write down for me. Okay. Spirit wants you to do some work, since we just left off on talking about rejecting the inner self and what that looks like, right? And what comes from rejection, where it truly stems from. Okay. We want to do some healing in this time too, because this is a great time to manifest healing. Because as Bree had asked previously in our last part 1, bringing up the alter ego, and we talked about, even if you have the alter ego, unless you are truly in alignment with the vibration of that alter ego over time, it's just going to add resistance, right? So we don't want to, this thing that we're about to manifest, we want this to go through without a sitch, right? And of course, there's going to be up and downs. You can't control that, but we don't want to be the reason why we're adding resistance into that, right? So here's your journal prompts for you to write down and to do, tomorrow, whenever, you know what I mean? You got to write down where you have distrust of yourself and what you are leaving behind. Okay, I'll say that again. Write down where you have distrust of yourself and what you are leaving behind. Because we can't bring that old shit with us, right? We use the hoarding example, right? You need space. You need to make space to bring things into your home now, right? You can't have a junky place with no space, right? You got to have space to bring some new shit in, right? Okay. We can't bring the old self with you because it's just dragging us down, right? Chaos separation needs to happen in order for the new to come in, right? To make way of the new. The old needs to dissolve. Okay. So did y'all get that? Do you need me to repeat it one more time? Let me know in the chat, folks. I'll say it again while I wait for this to come through. Why does this sound like this? I'm getting some type of feedback from my device. That's 2 separate questions, correct? Yes, that is 2 separate questions. But I just had it as one topic, but you can do it however you feel like is best, okay? All right, so y'all got it. Cool. So if you want to tackle it like 2 separate, you can. Technically, I wrote it as one, so it's up to you. It's really up to you. All right, so I want you guys to begin to think about that. What are the ways that you distrust yourself? And what are you leaving behind in this new era that we're about to go into? What are you leaving behind? And then you can burn that, whatever you want to do, okay? Remember, sometimes people in your life are dragging the old stuff. Leave them. They may be part of the old you created. That's right, Sheila. Sheila don't play. Sheila will leave people. She'll leave. Sheila don't play. She's like, look, leave them old folks behind, bruh. No matter how much you love them, you gotta let them go. I love that. I love the courageousness. Another thing we mentioned from the first live, Jay, that you missed is that the universe rewards those who are courageous. Okay. Just remember that. The universe rewards those who are courageous. All right. All right. What else do I want you guys to write down? Okay. Next thing that I want you guys to write down. So I want you guys to think about freedom in all ways. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. All of it matters. Okay. I'll repeat it again so you guys can write this down. I want you guys to think about in your journaling, think about in your manifestation that you're about to write. Okay. You need to include these things. I want you to think about or mention freedom in all ways, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. All of it matters. Here's why this is important. Tiara said, whoa, these are some good questions. Thank you, T. Hey. Shout out to Spirit for giving it to me. Sorry, that was ego trying to take credit. It was Spirit. It was shout out to B too. She's not here tonight, but listen, here's why this is important. And this was brought to my awareness through a conversation I had with B. Absolutely amazing. So much learned in that conversation. When we look at abundance, we are taught abundance from the Western perspective and the systematic perspective, which is mostly just money financially, right? I want to make $1 million, or I want to have a business, or I want to do this. I want to be on a beach. All that shit costs money, right? Like, yes, so that is financially. Or I want to win the lottery, whatever it is that most people want to manifest. And I'm not shaming it because that's a part of this. Right? Currency, money, energy, all of that is a part of this. But again, we don't actually think about these other areas. How do you want to feel emotionally in this new life that you're creating? Do you want to feel secure within yourself? Do you want to feel like you have so much self-love and confidence in yourself? Do you want your life to be so calm and stable, and even if it isn't, you're just so calm and anchored within yourself that no matter what happens, you're just the eye of the storm energy. You're just calm. You're at peace. How much do you value your peace? Because you see, you can manifest that job that's going to pay you 6 figures, but guess what? They're going to own you. Because guess what they're going to say? Negro, I'm paying you $254,000 a year. What you mean you're not answering your phone on the weekend? Well, we better answer that email. There's a big deal on the table. We need you. A spirit said something to me that really stuck. You are the architect of your problems. Jay, that is 100% true. We've kind of done some unpacking of that, right? In part 1, but ain't that a bar? Yes, we are the villain and the hero of our own story. We talked about us being the hero of our story. We were also our own villain. We're the ones creating chaos because our blessings show up all day, every day, but you can't see it because your ego won't allow you to see it. How many times have we been, we see this all the time, like maybe in shows or whatever. Like one of the shows that Brittany and I like to watch sometimes. Yeah, I know, it's crazy that she got me into this show. I'm almost ashamed to say it. But Love Island, right? Mindless reality TV. But we're looking at these things from a higher perspective, and we see this all the time and how the ego is running the show. And how so many opportunities and times, like there'll be blessings in front of people's faces, but they can't see it because of what their ego desires. Right? Like one of the shows, this young lady is just like, yo, like he's just too boring. Right? Like, like he's just too nice. Like I'm toxic. Like I like a little bit of excitement. Like I want this old dude. And then we're just sitting here like, yo, this is so many people are in this space of like addicted to the toxicity. But she doesn't understand is that deep down inside, the truth is she thinks it's cute being toxic. Like, oh, I just like excitement. Nah, it's not excitement. Your life has been so chaotic that you've learned to think that you're thriving in the chaos. You think your life is great in the chaos. All the while your soul is screaming out like, yo, stop it. Boring is not boring. It's peace. You're in peace, fam. You don't even know what peace feels like. Your life is just so all over the place. You're so used to being disrespected, manipulated. This is what you begin to feel like you deserve. So you become the villain of your own story. So when spirit puts something in your face that's a good match for you, you can't even recognize it because it just doesn't feel exciting. And trust me, we've all been there, including me. I've had to work through that and realize, like, oh shit, like what the hell is going on with my little, it's my ego. There ain't no way. Ain't no freaking way. Meanwhile, he's safe and come on. And that's all we really want, right? Safety and security. So, yes, we are the architect of our problems. We can also be the villain of our story. This is how life can be heaven or hell based on how we perceive it and the actions that we take. So, yes, okay, freedom in all ways, spiritual freedom. You want to be able to be free with spirit. You want to be spirit led. You want to trust when you get that intuitive prompting to do something, when God is telling you to do something, when spirit and the angels are like, yo, go here, do this, do that. Even though you're like, oh, geez, but what happens if it goes wrong? Like, no, you want to operate in that space because every time you listen to God, it works out for you. I'm trying to tell you, listen to your intuition. Just follow it. Follow your promptings. You want to be in peace with that. You want to be in alignment with that. Mental abundance, right? Mental freedom. You want to be at peace. You don't want to have to be thinking about all this kind of stuff and what's going to happen to yo, one of the worst things is just like not having money and not knowing what you're going to eat today. Like that's crazy. Or how you going to pay this bill? Yeah, that's not a place to be. Okay. So when we talk about abundance, when you are writing down your manifestations, I need you guys to think about all facets. Abundance is not only stuff that's what's outside of you, it's also what's within you. And here's the thing, I wasn't really going to get into this tonight. We've talked about this some other nights on manifestation. I think it was manifestation video 102 or 101. We talked about being able to receive, let go of control about how it comes. Okay. When you let go, and if you say, like, oh, I'm going to meet my guy at church, or I'm going to meet my wife at church, you're putting spirit in a box, and your person may not be the person that you're going to find in the church. You might find somebody outside of the church. But when you limit yourself, when you control the thing, and you meet somebody somewhere, let's say it's a random, you're walking your dog at a dog park and you meet this beautiful person or this handsome person, and this is your person, you're like, wow, that person just like, there's something about them. But God is going to send me a man in church. Like he's going to be in the church. And then boom, ships flies right by you. Let go of control. Allow it to show up how it's supposed to show up. All your job is to do is to go places. So if spirit say, you know what? Don't go to this dog park, go to that dog park. Go to the other dog park. Sometimes there may be a reason that you see and other times you don't. But I promise you, every time there's a purpose of it. Do you understand? It's a holistic thing. All right. Bet. I think we're on the same page. Okay. We are going to tap in with the lovely Paula Herlock. Shout out to my Caribbean folk. I believe she's of Jamaican descent, but listen, she just has such beautiful healing energy. We're going to take a little bit of a shift now. What we want to discuss here, since we were just talking about the inner child, right, in the previous video that we just sort of watched, we're going to talk about the power of the inner talk, the power of the inner dialogue on a deeper level. And I think she just does a really good job of explaining it in her own way that I just think is very impactful. So yeah, let me put this on the right time because it's not, and then we'll get right to it. All right, let's get it.
Whatever excesses that we have going on on the planet and helping the planet to cleanse herself of whatever excesses there may be going on its surface.
Next question I want to touch on is the importance of words, the importance of the words you use to identify yourself.
Now, I have seen many motivational speakers emphasizing how important it is to speak kindly to yourself, speak in an empowering way to yourself, and they've been saying whatever comes after I and am is very important. And I think the reason why they're doing that is because as time goes by, we're getting a better and better understanding of how the subconscious works and how important the inner dialogue is in terms of how we show up in this world, how we integrate what we have heard, whether it's externally or internally. So we realize that if someone is on the outside is abusing us, then we are traumatized, we are affected, we, start to experience emotions like sadness, fear, anger, self-doubt, and so on. And so what they also found out is that when we have those less than optimal inner conversations, then our subconscious just accepts it and starts to act on it. So what a lot of them have been saying is that whatever you put after I am is going to be received very well by the subconscious. So rather than saying, oh, I'm clumsy, or oh, I'm such an idiot, we start to use empowering dialogue like I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, wonderfully made, I am whole, I am creative, and so on and so forth. You get the picture, right? Now, it's the same thing when we say I don't. It also has a significant impact on what our subconscious now takes on board. I don't know how to, I can't. Those negative pronouncements actually have an impact on our abilities to perform simple tasks. So this is why I believe even from kindergarten level, teachers have been, helping the children to sing little songs. I can, and I will, and I, because they understand that those empowering messages to self have an impact on even the motor skills and the way the body performs will be affected by those conversations. In the same breath, I'm going to speak on health. And it has been said that even speaking words of healing over yourself will result in better health. So if you keep saying, I'm tired and I'm not as strong, and it's going to impact because your cells are listening to you and they are taking the instructions and they're like, okay, tired? Okay, all right, I'll be tired. And they will do what they're being commanded to do. So the inner dialogue is actually an inner command. There's a book that to people, Your Word is Your Wand by Florence Scovel Shinn. And that book was written in the 1800s or the early 1900s.
I don't know if Bree's in here again, but she talked about the Game is Life book, right? And this is a second book by Florence Scovel Shinn. And I think this was all written in like the 1920-ish area. which is a very interesting time in history. A lot of things happened around that time. It's also interesting when we talk about cycles, 100-year cycles at that, right? 2020, 1920, mass awakenings happening during that time, where you have someone like a Florence Scovel Shinn kind of coming to the forefront. Very interesting. And being a woman of that time as well, right? Like, you know, women at that time weren't necessarily main spotlight speakers in these types of spaces, right? Mostly a male dominated kind of like field, philosophy field. So very, very interesting. But you could find this book anywhere. Your Word is My Wand. Your Word is Your Wand. Simply just go Google it. You can find it for free. You can listen to it on YouTube. I highly recommend that you listen to all of Florence Scovel Shinn's work. I will write it in here for you all. Florence Scovel Shinn. I've listened to her stuff so many times, like over and over and over, and I get something every time. I get great reminders. It puts me in a good mood. So powerful. Okay, when we talk about manifestation and understanding more on a deep level, she's great. She's absolutely amazing. Write an I am affirmation and record it in your own voice. It's powerful when you're feeling less than. Thank you, Sheila, for that beautiful gem. Yes. That's something that, you know, Professor Mel had pointed out too, and I need to do that. That's one thing. Thank you for that reminder. I've been supposed to do that, and I may have mentioned that before in some of my lives, but that's something that I need to put into practice again. So thank you for that reminder. Your voice is so powerful, as Miss Herlock just spoke about. You know what I mean? So let's keep going, because I don't want to ruin what she says next.
And it basically is going on the assumption that whatever you speak out loud actually has a lot of power. So when you say, I am beautiful, wonderfully made, your body goes into agreement with your words. Another thing that I want to emphasize is that your throat chakra is the bridge between your heart, your third eye. And so they are listening to the commands of the throat chakra. And so we have to be mindful that when we use our throat chakra, it is a reflection of what is going on in our heart chakra and what we can see. And it's vice versa as well. So we influence what goes on in the heart and in the mind, and our voice also impacts what goes on in the heart and mind. So we need to be mindful of all the dynamics involved in self-talk. One of the things that I think people need to assess is how they feel about themselves, and then figure out why they feel that way about themselves. Is it from family? Is it from school? Is it from friends? And then there is a certain level of introspection that needs to take place, because you know who you are, and you cannot rely on external sources to tell you who you are. So it requires now that you introspect and you start to rely on your opinion of yourself and not require the external validation of anybody outside of yourself. I'm not saying don't listen. I'm saying listen, think about everything, and then see, because that introspection is part of your evolution, your personal evolution. Because it is when you listen to people that you get their insights, and then you take it on board and you improve and evolve yourself, right? So there's much to the self-talk, right? And that's why I think there's lots of self-help books teach you how to change that dialogue, that internal dialogue, to empower yourself, right? But it really speaks to, bottom line, not requiring external validation and requiring or developing your internal validation of yourself through the self-talk.
and we just spoke about self-talk, and now we want to jump into self-work, right?
Whew. Listen, y'all gotta watch that interview. So many gems in that. Okay, that's it from this interview. Again, I encourage you to watch this. All the links for these videos are actually in the first part of the live. Unfortunately, we have to start over. After this is done at some point, maybe tomorrow, I'll come back here and I will put in the links again into this video so people can have it. But so many gems in that. But listen, like, again, it just reiterates what we've been talking about so far, right? A reminder of how you speak about yourself. How many times you did something stupid? Ah, I'm so stupid. You know, you made a mistake. I'm so stupid. Like, oh, like me even being like, oh, I'm so mad at myself that I didn't charge my laptop, which caused this great interruption, but it's okay. Y'all came back. And for those who can catch it again later, we'll catch it again later. Everything happens for a reason and it's all right. It's a learning experience for me. But what sense would it make for me to beat myself up and be, oh, I'm so stupid, right? All I would be doing is speaking down about myself. You know? See what I'm saying? And so we have so much negative internal dialogue that even we don't realize that we're saying, and then it comes out. It comes out. You know what I'm saying? So when we say women ain't shit, men ain't shit, when we join these conversations about politics and all these things, and we're repeating back in music these songs that aren't very uplifting and demeaning to ourselves and others, like we're speaking that into our lives, into our power, the subconscious mind is just going to accept it. It just takes it in. You can't filter it out. You see, so once it goes in, now it's in your subconscious, and now you're trying to do the work after the fact. Right? And Tiara, thank you so much for pointing out that your throat and your sacral vocal and your vocal cords and your pelvic floor are very similar, and that's very true. It looks exactly alike. Right? Everything is connected, yo. Here's powerful, it's strong, it's great at it will respond to you. If you say to your food, like, hey, this meal is going to nourish my body and make me strong. My mind is going to be sharp and clear. This water that I'm drinking is going to hydrate me, which allows my body to be more electrical. And I'll find that it's easier for me to move my joints. Right? You know, if you go on a walk, I'm walking these days, right? Because I heard that it's a great way to lose weight and target, you know, stomach fat and things of that nature. Do you know that you can, typically your body naturally will pull from your organ area last, generally speaking, for most people genetically, because it's trying to protect your organs. That's just a natural thing, right? This is why you typically gain weight in your midsection first, right? And your other extremities later. And so it tends to pull from like your face. So people who lose weight, massive weight, you typically see their face get real skinny, but then their midsection will be the last to go. But do you have the power to tell your body like, hey, I want you to pull from this body fat? Did you know that? And it will respond. Listen, your vocal cords are so powerful. Your throat chakra is so powerful. And so for those of you, or those of us out there who know that you have this thing with your throat because life has beat you down and they told you the things that you had to say didn't matter and you believe them, right? Or that, oh, you can't sing or rap or as well as other people, or no one's going to listen to me because when you tried to speak up, they didn't want to listen to you, right? They gaslit you and told you because they didn't want to face the truth, what you were saying was bullshit. So you stop using this, you're disempowered. This is probably the very thing that's going to open up life for you in a whole new way. So I want to challenge you, those of you who are here or those of you watching in the future, speak up, speak powerful. It's like speak more powerful, speak powerful words over your life. You have more power than you realize within you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Free it, talk it. Negative dialogue keeps the spirit and the mental block up. Come on, talk the talk. Negative talk comes from a place of judgment with self and not being accepting of all our experiences with the universe. Come on, Jay. Dropping those gems, big Cancer energy. That's a fact, right? And where does those self-judgments come? Typically, the way the reaction of the world and how they showed you, how you showed up when you were being your authentic self, it wasn't accepted. So you weren't taught about what self-love truly means, which is true acceptance of judgment. All right. Thank y'all for sticking with me. I know it's been a long time. We just got a little bit more, okay? A little bit more. All right. So the next interview, and this will be the last interview. We're going to be talking about Tabitha. This is going to be from Tabitha Brown. Shout out to Tab. Good old Tab. Y'all know about Tab. She got it popping on the internet with her food reviews. She's amazing. She's dope. I follow her on Instagram. She inspired me a lot with some of her recipes during the pandemic, with the vegan food, or the more plant-based lifestyle. She really healed herself from some issues that she was having. I think in her head or her brain, she might have had I don't think she had a tumor, but there was something going on. Yes, Auntie Tab, facts. Excuse me. And now she's extremely successful. Stuff. She has her own seasonings. She has several books. She has, so much going on. Clothing brands, all kinds of things. This woman is hyper successful. But wait till you hear this part of her story. If this don't motivate you, I don't know what will. All right, let me set it up because I thought I had it on the right time and I do not. So one moment. And again, this is another interview that I encourage you guys to watch. We're just going to move it straight to we're going to go here. We'll start from there.
Times. And when I woke up, I was like, okay, Lord, reveal that to me, because during this time, I'm not really auditioning. I'm not doing any acting. I wouldn't do a stand-up. I wouldn't do any things that would land me on the show because I was not well. And I had a conversation with God and he said, start doing videos. And I was like, I'm not doing no videos. Honey, I'm an actress, a broke actress, but an actress nonetheless.
I'm not doing that
Right?
social
I
media
ain't doing
thing.
that. Why would I do that? And also because, as an actor, then we were always told when I would go to acting classes and different things, stay away from social media. They won't take you serious in Hollywood.
Right.
And I believed it. Okay. And so the voice was clear, start doing videos. And I was like, Lord, I don't want to do videos. And he was like, listen, when you were out doing stand-up, you were trying to get a TV show. And them little, open mic nights, you were getting 15, 30 people to see you a night.
Yeah.
You start doing videos, you reach thousands in minutes. And I was like, that's where I got you because I ain't got thousands of followers to reach in minutes. The voice again, start doing videos. So I was like, I don't want to do that. So then he reminded me, he said, remember in the bathroom, he said, if I heal you, I can have you.
Ooh.
And I said,
Do you want to be healed or not?
I was like, well, he caught me on a bad day that day, but I did say that.
Did I really say that?
Did I really say that? I was having a rough day.
Sorry, some context about that particular statement. She basically was like sick at the time and like for a year and a half dealing with all these issues. Doctors couldn't figure out what it was. She's on these different medications, getting injections in her brain. She was going through it. And she was like, Lord God, like she spoke to God and she said, if you get me through this, like I am yours. I will do, in other words, I will do whatever it is that you tell me to do. Like I accept you and your full control over my life. Which is interesting because when we listen to that divine voice, when we give in to that power, right? I won't spoil it, but all right. Sorry. I'm speaking ahead. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, cool. Just wanted to give you context.
But that's the only reason I started doing videos.
Wow.
Right?
Because you heard the voice who
because
said
I heard
start
the-
doing videos.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a big audience then.
No, I had, my Facebook. I had my regular Facebook, 3,000 to 5,000 people, whatever the thing is on Facebook. I might have had 1,300 followers or something on my Facebook actor page.
Small audience.
As small as you can get it in, probably the same on Instagram. And I was like, well, I ain't got thousands of followers to watch me. Thousands of minutes, what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, but I also was trying to live a life of obedience. So I was like, okay, I got to start doing these videos. And then I was like, Lord, what am I going to do a video about? So when I first started doing the videos, I was telling jokes and telling stories of, being a mama and a wife, same stuff I used to kind of tell on stage. And during that time, those same, few weeks, my daughter had came home and told me about the documentary that she watched at school, What the Hell? Because she knew I was sick. We watched it as a family, and I decided to do a 30-day vegan challenge. And after the 30 days, I was like, I was feeling better. 10 days, the first 10 days, I had a headache for 1 year and 7 months in the back of my head every day.
Wow.
Every day. I would fall when I would walk. I lost my vision for a day. My body was just attacking itself. First 10 days, my headache disappeared. After every drug, I was getting shots in my head. I was getting everything they offered me. If anything, it was probably making me worse. Nothing worked. 10 days of eating plants, headache disappeared. And so I told my husband, I was like, I think this is going to be my life. I think I'm going to go vegan. And the moment I said that out of my mouth on that day 30, I was like, I'm not going to go back. I think I'm going to be vegan. The same voice that told me to start doing videos, like a hummingbird would fly by your ear. That's how I can explain it. That's how it sounds. I was like, now tell people what you eat in your video.
Wow.
And I said, oh, Lord, I don't know if I want to do that because that makes it kind of permanent. Like, I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah,
I'm not doing a challenge. I'm doing, for real, this is my life. I'm going to be vegan. And I never wanted people to feel like I was trying to shame anybody or anything. And I was just like, I don't know. I had also shaved off all my hair at the time because my hair was always long and straight. So I was just doing a whole new, transformation. And so I was like, okay. I just started telling people, y'all, I'm going vegan. And when I find food items, I'm going to share it with y'all. I'm going to cook some recipes and share when I find, good vegan food. And that's how I started. And nobody was watching. I was like, it's 33 people on here, Lord, while I'm cooking live. You said thousands in minutes. Where are they? I would cry because I'd be like, I don't know where God has me doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. And, that was August of 2017.
Okay. August of 2017, this is happening, right? She gets this vision, or she gets this message from God, or Spirit Team, whatever you want to call it. Yo, we do this, and you will have this result. Everything you ever desire is going to come to you. You're going to have thousands of followers. Just put yourself online. She goes and she does it. She's like, all right, what am I going to put? It's like, just show yourself cooking some stuff, right? Now, mind you, everything in her life prior to that point, I mean, she's from North Carolina. We know anything about North Carolina, it's about meat, barbecue, comfort food. It's the South. You know what I'm saying? Where there would be anti-veganism to the fullest degree. So there's resistance there. There's definite resistance there. Mind you, she does have a level of, a few thousand people that she knows, right? From high school and life or whatever. She's an actor at this point. So she said her Facebook page has like 1,000 people. So let's say it was a 4,000 total. If we were to do the math, it would be but only 33 people on her live. That's a very, very small percentage of 4,000. You dig what I'm saying? And she stuck it out though. Okay. And she's going to talk about what happens, but I just want to point that out of how quickly something can happen or not happen.
And I think by October, I started, I was feeling so much better. I started driving Uber because I didn't go back to work. I'd been on disability for over a year. So I told my husband, I was like, I don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. I'm going to just see what God got out here for me. I'm in LA. I'm going to drive Uber, probably pick up a producer or director. They're going to love me. I call you from set. That's how I think. I'm like, I'm about to get discovered in my car out here in LA. And December 30th of 2017, I dropped somebody off by Whole Foods, driving Uber that morning. Went in there and got me a breakfast sandwich because I was still, vegan, new to be a vegan, but Whole Foods always got a vegan option. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get me breakfast. Had never heard of vegan bacon at that time. They had a sandwich in the prepared food section, TLTA, and it was like 10-bean bacon and lettuce, tomato, avocado. I was like, oh, I ain't never heard of that. Throw me a little pickle on there, honey, a little onion and stuff. Ate the first half so fast. I was like, oh, wait, I need to do a video to tell people I found a new vegan option. Sat in my car because I was on my Uber break, did a video, posted it, went on back to driving Uber. By the time I got home, that video had like 50,000 views. I was like,
wow,
who watching this video? Next one over 100-something thousand. I was like, I told my husband, I said, I think I'm going viral. He was like, what that mean? I don't know.
We're gonna watch it though.
Exactly. He was like, you gonna make any money? I was like, I have no idea. 4 days later, Whole Foods reached out and they were like, we saw your video on Facebook. They DM'd me and they were like, we would love to work with you. And I became a brand ambassador for plant-based living, did over 15 campaigns, and the rest is history. Honey, ain't drove Uber since, but I will if I have to, but I haven't. And my life has been on this journey ever since.
That's amazing. So
Y'all hear what I'm hearing from this? She posts a video just enjoying a freaking sandwich, bro. And that one video goes viral for whatever reason. Why would a video about a sandwich go viral? Then that leads to sponsorships from freaking Whole Foods where she bought the damn sandwich. Dude, just let go of the control, family. Stop being in resistance to the blessings that Spirit God is trying to give to you. It's right there. Stop playing. Just do what they're telling you to do. Yes, her story is inspiring and she was obedient and trusted 100%. That's it. That's all you got to do, fam. Like, that's what's possible for you. That's the only thing in your way is you. We don't have to suffer anymore, bro. We don't. You're being offered a choice. You're being offered an opportunity, especially with this Lionsgate, to really forget all the BS. Let go of the freaking karma. Let go of the negative mindsets, the limited thinking. This is your opportunity right now. You can use this energy to jump into this new timeline. Similar to what happened to Tab can happen to you for you in your own perfect way. You just simply have to be courageous enough to take the steps to post that video, to listen to that voice, to do what it is that Spirit is trying to push you to do. Just follow the small steps. You may not, the first video you put out may not go viral, or it may. Who knows? We don't know your life path. But just stay obedient, as Jay just said, which I love. Stay obedient to that. Stay consistent to that. Just keep following. Just keep following the promptings. Ignore the ego. Affirm yourself when you get resistance and just do it anyway. It's going to pay off. It has to. It is your birthright. Let's keep going. We got a little bit more from this.
December 2017.
December 30th of 2017.
And you started making videos a couple months prior.
August.
Wow.
Yep.
Isn't it interesting? What if after like a month of doing these videos, you just said, you know what, this isn't working. I'm not getting thousands of views right away.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Where do you think your life would be if you stopped after a day before you post that video, just said, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not working right away. You know, God said it would happen right away. It's not happening. I'm going to stop. Where do you think your life would be?
I'll probably be working, still auditioning, but I'd be working a 9 to 5. Yep, I'd still be pursuing the dream of acting. And the thing about acting is, and I told you this before, that used to be my only focus, right? I had put myself in this box where all I thought about was like, oh, I want to be a series regular. Or, of course, I would love to be, the lead in a film. Those were my big break ideas. And God was like, you can do that. You can do that, Tabitha. You can do that. But let me show you what I can do.
Wow.
This is what he can do. This is my 4th book, but my 3rd New York Times bestseller. I never, ever even had an idea to write a book.
Wow.
Right? I have seasoning. I have a hair care line. I have a major partnership with Target. I have my own food, my own clothes, my own furniture. Right? I have all these things that I never imagined And that's because God says it's more than what you can imagine. You can trust me. And so I do.
Wow. This is inspiring. This is inspiring.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, there's nothing else for me to say, fam. What? Listen, guys. Wow. This is what's possible. Period. I'm telling you. She went from thinking that she was supposed to be an actor, moved all the way across the country from North Carolina with her husband, struggled, tried to force this thing to happen, ignored. So one thing you didn't get to see in this interview is she talks about her spiritual gifts, and one of her spiritual gifts is that she gets dreams and visions for people. And so she realized that, like, when she wasn't in alignment, that's why she got sick. I didn't play that part for you because whatever, but I want you to watch this interview. Very, very fire. And it's just, man, so many gems in these things, guys. Tiara said, I'm shook. Yeah. Listen, don't give up, y'all. Be courageous. What she's doing is just simply being courageous, going against what she thought, releasing control, right? She thought, I'm going to be an actor. This is what I think I'm supposed to be doing. The ego wanted that. The ego's like, yes, I'm going to break out in a film and I'm going to bring this big movie star. This woman is making more money than she could probably ever make being an actor. There's a lot of actors. I mean, there's reports now, right? A lot of truth is coming out. Taraji P was one of the faces that came out, and you think that these Black actors are making a lot of money, and most of them are not. Most of them are still living check to check. Most of them are broke. This is not to shame people who are supposed to be actors, because you can do that too. So I don't want to discourage you into that. But what I'm saying is like, she thought things were supposed to be one way. When she released control and started listening to her intuition, being fearless and courageous about it, the universe conspired with her to make everything work out. And she's more successful than she could ever imagine. This woman said she got furniture. Like, what? For my artists out there, like, this was also possible for you. Like, it's not just about paintings. Like, you're a creative. You can design anything. You could design freaking bowls and make mad money off of bowls for people's homes, like home decor. Like, yo, so much is out there for you. There's so many opportunities. You just simply need to be and just sit with your gifts, play with yourself. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. Play as a child. Be. Oh my goodness, man. Be in your creativity. Be inspired. Love on yourself. It's really not that complicated. Tiara said, all from a sandwich. I mean, come on. Come on. Melissa said, and on top of that, there are so many strikes right now because she listened to her spirit. She got money coming from every other direction. Come on, Mal. Mal said, yes, I just got her blender last week. Yo, that's crazy. That too. Wow. Y'all, listen, thank you so much for hanging with me for this long. I know this was a long one today, but the last couple of ones I haven't been able to finish. And so it just is what it is. But thank you for sticking with me, y'all. I really hope that you guys got something. You feel like you got something from this that you can take and use as into this new life that you're about to manifest. Can I get some ones in the chat? No, matter of fact, let's put 8s in the chat because it's 888 energy right now. Big up to abundance. So let's put 8 in the chat real quick. Play with yourself. Let that child energy free. Facts, Sheila. Thanks, Jay. This was good. I appreciate it. And that's for the prompts. Yeah, thank you. Shay. Yes, you're so welcome, y'all. I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, take advantage of this energy, y'all. This 888 energy. Tomorrow, I was just thinking, yo. Hopefully, my job don't see this. But I'm gonna call out tomorrow, so I could spend time journaling. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna be in that energy of like abundance tomorrow. Shoot, I'm going outside in a park. Hopefully, the weather's nice, and hopefully, it's not crazy hot. Even if it is, it's all good. And I'm just gonna be out in nature, and I'm just gonna be inspired, and I'm just gonna write. I'm gonna journal those same things that I gave you guys. And we're just gonna be in that energy of abundance for real, yo. Like for real, and just feel what it feels like to be that future self, as if you were Tab. You know what I mean? So many, we just saw from 3 amazing people the importance of self-love, the importance of following your intuitive promptings, the importance of speaking power into your life. So do all of that over the next several weeks. And let's rise to the top together. Because guess what? It's our birthright. We're meant to succeed. We're meant to live lives that are full of joy, happiness, peace, love, all of those beautiful vibrational things. And the opposite that we receive here, hate, envy, whatever else, is just to show us how we're not showing up for ourselves. Yeah. This will definitely silence the noise while I'm out planning for my workshop. I can and I will do this. You goddamn right, Melissa. You are absolutely amazing. You're gonna crush this workshop. I know it. I know it. Sheila says, manifesting abundance every day is my goal for this month. Come on. Let's go. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Jay says, amen. Amen. Ashe, all of it. And so it is, and so it will be. Listen, y'all get some rest. Big day for us tomorrow. I love every single one of you. If those of you who feel called, tap in, click my link in my bio. Well, shoot, in my bio. Yeah, I think it's in my bio. Book a session with me. Let's tap in. Let's unpack your charts. Let's figure some things out. Let's get you on this path. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's do this together. I support you guys. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys next week with another message from Spirit. Yeah? Cool. Peace. Good night.